सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। जय गुरुदेव। Yeah, we can share our takeaways.
Dr. Ramla, the last one, 60th sloka, with which we ended today. Can you explain a bit that Krishna says, even if you don't want, you will be doing? Does it mean you are destined to do it? Or does it mean after the Gyan? The last 60th.
Correct, I know. What
Excuse me.
Yes, Suresh. Yeah.
I like the Nanaji who gave that example of wife, because she got angry with husband, she will tell, I will not eat.
Suresh ji, your voice is breaking. Are you there, Suresh?
You may explain, Dr. Ramdas, then.
Yeah, I think his internet was shaky a bit. See, we all have, based on our samskaras, all the Ananta Koti Janmanam, we have gathered all these samskaras and vasanas, isn't it? So that decides our Shraddha, whether it's Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika, and we have those tendencies in us. So even if you do not want to do, because he's a Kshatriya. So even if he decides not to fight, he will be helplessly, forced into doing it. He's being impelled into doing it.
So out of habit, out of samskara.
Out of the samskaras, because of the force of the samskaras, even if he's not going to do it, he will be impelled to do it.
Yeah, but that doesn't correlate with Nanaji's example of wife and husband. Wife got wife? It's not wife sanskara. So
it was an example given. It might examples are not like, they're just given for us to understand. We cannot literally take the whole meaning. It is like her, although she said, I'm not going to eat, she was impelled into eating, because that is her, that is the vasana, right? She cannot not eat.
Understood.
So although she was impelled to eat. Yeah. Yeah, Suresh, you're muted. If you want to speak, you can unmute and speak.
Hari Om Brahmaraji. Viparita Bhavana, what Nanaji explained, it was so beautiful. Now, is it also based on our past impressions? Or we acquire with our habits?
Yeah. Maybe it's
Because
a combination of both, no?
I
Why
couldn't
pa-
hear you. Your voice is
It's a combination
no.
of
Your
both.
voice was. I mean, is it my internet or?
Is everyone able to hear? Just show a thumbs up. So,
Yes, Brahmaraji, we can hear.
combination of both, I guess, both samskaras as well as our own habits that we have, have acquired during this lifetime. See, because if you extrapolate this, what we're doing out of force of habit on a day-to-day basis, if you extrapolate it to the several janmas that we've gone through, every janma we have, that is why we are still not, all of us are still sadhaks, because we still haven't realized ourselves. So every janma we've gone through that thing saying I am jiva, I am alpajnaha, I am kinchignaha. We've lived that. It was like a habit, that habitual thing that happened in all the Ananta Koti Janmana. So when you extrapolate this Viparita Bhavana, this force of habit, to the difference between Jiva and Atma, to the misidentification, then yes, even our past karmas, past vasanas also would play a big role in that. And that is the reason why we are not able to realize ourselves, because the concept that I am different from Brahma, I am separate, that separateness has been kind of stamped time and again, birth after birth. And that is the Viparita Bhavana, is making us not see what is real, what is unreal, what is real. So today was very, very nice in the sense, for me, the one takeaway was big. The thing that really hit me was Krishna admonishing Arjuna, saying, if you do not heed my advice, you will perish. I mean, that was the strongest that Krishna Bhagwan has actually come up with in all these 16 chapters that he has taught. It is like, it's a big wake-up call. It's like, you better do this, otherwise you will perish. And I think that's a wake-up call for all of us.
Usually many parents, usually many parents, they say to the children, you listen to me, otherwise.
Correct. Exactly how Krishna is telling Arjuna. Today, Nana
those who love, they only can tell that.
Correct. Which is true.
Hari Om Brahmaraji, I chant the shloka today.
Yeah, please chant. We'll start from 52 and go up till 60. Huh? We have 8 shlokas to do.
May I start?
Please start.
Anyone wants to share?
Yeah,
I wanted to say what Nanaji said now. If you are not going to heed my whatever I am advising, you will be vinashyasi. But in the next 2-3 shlokas, he is telling ki if you have a moha and a hankara, and because of the swabhava, you again will do what you will be forced to do what is your swabhava. So it is very little in our hand, I think. And it will be the grace which will work, I think. Even if we try to pay heed to the advices. I think so. But let us see next.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was out of this because again I came inside. I wanted to tell that Nanaji gave that example, no, of a wife getting angry with husband and telling that I will not eat.
ultimately she gets hungry by swabhava and she will eat. Hello?
Yes, yes. Correct.
That is the swabhava, you see.
Correct.
Not by grace or not by this one. It is grace by our own karma only it comes, the swabhava. So ultimately it will lead to that only, but with lot of difficulties. So we have to do. So I think that is the beauty of that.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Swabhava is very nicely explained also. Manana, he said, Swabhava is the vasanas that we have accrued over the so many millions of years, millions of births. That is the Swabhava. Yeah, I think we can get started with the chanting. Vila, you can start.
विविक्तसे विलघ्वाशी यतः कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः. Did I chant correctly? Lagvashi.
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 Lagvashi. Viviktasevi. The sevi has to be a little dirgha.
But she forgot vakya. Yadat kaya you told. You have to tell yat vakya kaya. Means three, speech
Vaka
and then
kaya.
that you forgot vak.
You can chant one more time, Vila.
Yeah. विविक्तसे विलघ्वाशी यत् वाक्काय मानसः.
Correct now.
Yatava. Sorry, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Viviktasevi lagvashi yatava kaya manasaha. Ta is complete, it's full, it's not yat. Okay, so yatava ka and ka is double ka, no? Yatava kaya manasaha.
अस्तु. विविक्तसे विलघ्वाशी यत् वाक्काय मानसः.
Yeah, that's fine.
ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः. Viviktasevi, one who lives in a quiet place. Lagvashi, one who eats lightly. I think from Langan this word has come, no? Langan, it is fasting.
Yeah. Laghu is little, small, laghu.
Small.
Yeah.
Little.
Mm.
Yeah. And Langan is eating, no, not eating. No Langan, not even little eating.
Mm.
Lagvashi, one who eats lightly. Yat vaka kaya manasaha, one whose speech, body and mind are mastered. Dhyana yoga paraha, one who is committed to contemplation. Nityam, always. Vairagyam, freedom from longing. Samapashritaha, the one who has completely resorted to. The one who lives in a quiet place, who eats lightly, whose speech, body, and mind are mastered, who is always committed to contemplation, who has completely resorted to freedom from longing.
There is some disturbance. I'm not sure from where. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can chant, Vila.
I will chant the next shloka as well.
Yeah, please chant.
Yeah.
We're just running through the just revising the shlokas and then we'll go to the PDF.
Okay, astu. Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Ahankaram, misplaced I sense. Balam, power. Darpam, vainfulness. Kamam, binding desire. Krodham, anger. Parigraham, ownership of external things. Vimuchya, giving up. Nirmamaha, the one who has no sense of ownership of his own body, etc. Shantaha, the one who is tranquil. Brahm bhuyaya kalpate, is fit.
I think the disturbance is coming from Belaji's side. Okay.
Bela ji, maybe there is, I'm not sure whether you're using earphones. There is a little disturbance from your side. Maybe you can remove the earphones and do it directly. I'm not sure what is the thing, but there is a little bit of disturbance. It's okay. I think we can go ahead. If it's not disturbing too much, then it's fine. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate is fit for certainty about being Brahman. Till you come, I will just continue, Bela. Giving up misplaced I sense, power, vainfulness, binding desire, anger, ownership of external things. The one who has no sense of ownership of his own body, etc., and who is tranquil, is fit for certainty about being Brahman. So, Sarlaji, these are all the indicators Bhagwan is giving us. Isn't it? He's telling us, he's directing us to what we should do. And then he's also telling us that if you do not follow this, you will be, you will have no choice but to follow your Swabhava.
Yeah.
But this is like steering ourselves, our compass is being steered into the right direction. Bela, are you back?
No, she's not there. She's not there.
Does anyone else want to chant the shlokas? Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Brahma bhutaha, the one who has become Brahma, has recognized oneself as Brahman. Prasannatma, one whose mind is cheerful. Na shochati, does not grieve. Na kankshati, does not long for anything. Sarveshu bhuteshu samaha, the one for whom all beings are the same as himself. Param bhaktim, param mad bhaktim, the highest devotion to me, labhate, gains. So here, I wanted to share something that happened yesterday. We were reading this and I had taken a resolve. I'm not going to let my impatience get in the way, okay? In my workplace. But it so happened, this thought was there, that resolve was there. When I went to work, it so happened, it's a new clinic that we are attached to. So the nurses there are still kind of learning and they're not geared up to take heavy rush. So I had about 4 patients already registered and I'm sitting in my clinic. I can see them that they see that they're registered and I finished seeing 1 patient and I'm waiting for the second to come. The nurse is nowhere to be seen and I'm calling the nurse's station. No one is picking up. And so my impatience kicked in, okay? And I had to, I told the head nurse, I said, you need to be a little more fast and you have to be, as soon as 1 patient leaves, you should send the other patient. I should not be the one coming or calling you to send the patient. So why I'm sharing this was, although I had that resolve to be calm, cheerful in spite of unpleasant situations. I ended up being impatient. I think that was my swabhava there. But then the funny part was I was aware at the back of my mind, I was aware I was getting impatient. And I just wanted to share this over here because this mind too is cheerful. I said, I want to be cheerful no matter what. But that was not possible yesterday. But I'll keep at it, keep the resolve. I think it's important to, like what Gurudev says, don't get angry, but show anger. Not that I should show my anger there, but I have to get across to the person. Otherwise, we are not working effectively as a team. I'm sitting in my clinic and the patients are waiting out there, and that connecting link, the nurse is not being effective. It doesn't work. So I just thought I'll share that over here. And another aspect here that really struck a chord was this param madbhaktim, the highest devotion to me. Here, this is where Nana so very beautifully said there is no difference between bhakti and jnana, isn't it? The ultimate bhakti, the pinnacle of bhakti is nothing but jnana. Although I have a doubt, for bhakti, you need the other. In order to show devotion, there is that dvaita bhavana. But I think when you reach the pinnacle of bhakti, where you merge with the divine, then that is where that knowledge and bhakti become the same.
Hari Om Brahmaraji, I think bhakti,
you're back.
Nanaji said, avyabhicharini bhakti. I think that he wanted to mention, isn't it? That not the Muralidhar with the all the traits what we look for, like he's Makhan Chor and Navneet Chor and naughty and but that Ananta who is Vyapta Sarve, that bhakti, I think here Nanaji had told to
No, here I want to comment. He comes that bhakti, vibhakti. Vibhakti means separation. You see, the vibhakti means you are separate. Bhakti means you are one. And that is the highest knowledge.
Yeah, very beautiful.
That is, Nanaji had told that. He told 2 or 3 times. That
yes,
this bhakti
very
means, bhakti means we are opposite of vibhakti.
Also,
Vibhakti is separate.
Another point we could think of is, look, anything that we like, maybe devotion is a form of liking or loving something, right? We want to know more about it. So that jnanam comes. With bhakti, jnanam comes. And with jnanam, when you know something about something, the love towards it also grows. So that way both are kind of connected. What you like or you love, about that you want to know more. So with that, the knowledge comes. And when you know something about something that you are pursuing, the love for that grows. So devotion also starts to happen. So both are that way, in some way connected. So people who are Krishna consciousness or Hare Rama and all, they have that love for Krishna. With that love is what makes them to go through the knowledge also, right? Because they want to know more about Krishna, experience Krishna consciousness, all that comes with jnana. So it's both are, there is a beautiful link between the two, is what I feel. I might be wrong, but this is how I have felt also. The more we pursue knowledge, the bhakti automatically increases. And if you are fully into bhakti earlier, then automatically the knowledge will start to increase.
Because normally we are, it is said there are 3 paths, like karma, bhakti and jnana, right? But actually jnana and knowledge are almost are linked, like you said. They're linked. In fact, even karma is linked to all of these. Because karma yoga, when you're practicing karma yoga, there is an element of devotion there. Without devotion, there is no karma yoga, because To whom are you offering the action, and how are you taking the result of every action? It is you're taking it as prasada from the Lord. So there is an element of bhakti even in karma yoga.
No,
So
that is
they're all
what.
basically it is like a triangle. They reach the same end. They are only different sides of a prism, like either a triangle or a prism, whatever you can imagine.
See,
Whatever.
excuse me, here I want to point. Guruji had told, no, once if you don't have love, you cannot get knowledge. For example, if you don't love mathematics, you will not learn the mathematics. You should have some love, that is bhakti. Then only knowledge will also come.
Correct.
Ultimately, it is through bhakti only it will lead to knowledge. So bhakti yoga has come that way only.
Which is true. So the one who has become Brahman, this become again is not the actual right term, because you are Brahman. There is no becoming Brahman. But Nana said, for want of other terms, because that is the limitation of English language, has recognized oneself as, that is better, recognized oneself as Brahman, whose mind is cheerful, does not grieve or long for anything. The one for whom all beings are the same as himself gains the highest devotion to me. Bela, you can chant.
Yes, dear.
Go on.
My voice is not breaking, no, Brahmaraji? My internet is...
Your voice is very clear. Only thing, there is a little bit of disturbance in the background. That's all.
Yeah, okay. Okay. If it is disturbing, then I will just hand over to you, Brahma.
If it's bearable, that's fine. You just go ahead.
Okay. Dhanyavad. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yasyasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gnatva vishate tadanantaram. Kindly correct me if there is any raswa dirgha.
Very, very good. Perfect.
Bhaktya, by knowledge, yavan ya cha asmi, as to how much and who I am. Tatvatah, in reality. Mam abhijanati, he Brahma Bhuta knows me properly. Tatah, thereafter. Tatvatah, in reality. Mam Gnatva, knowing me. Tadanantaram, soon after that. Mam Vishate, he enters me. Brahmaraji, there is this background, this music is going on outside.
That's okay.
So
that is okay. That is not disturbing. You can continue, Bela.
By bhakti, knowledge, he Brahma Bhuta knows me properly as to how much I am and who I am in reality. Thereafter, knowing me in reality, he enters me soon after that knowing.
Here, the beautiful analogy of the wave and the ocean. The wave coming up and saying, Aham, he's egotistic and Balam, Darpam, I'm the best. There is no one, Konyosti Sadrusho Maya. There's no one equal to me. But whereas when he realizes that when the wave realizes that nothing but the ocean, substance-wise, it's the same. And it's the same with every other wave. That Samatvam is known, then the wave enters the ocean. So beautiful. We've got so many examples around in nature. We only have to keep our eyes open and see. There is so much of Vedanta and everything. Yeah.
Tadanantaram, Nanaji stressed that after knowing that you are not different from that. Tadanantaram.
Antaram is a difference.
Difference. So tadanantaram means knowing that you are not different from that.
Correct.
Tadanantaram. So nicely he explained it. I like that word. Otherwise, we'll say after that. Tadanantaram. You see? So the words are so very beautifully arranged, and Nanaji was picking so beautifully. So we have to pick his words wonderfully. He is very, very, very nice. I loved that actually. Tadanantaram. After knowing that you are not different from that. Antaram is different, not different. Tadanantaram. Wonderful.
And here the bhaktya is not by bhakti, here it was by knowledge. So, yeah, I really wonder how with what that, there are different terms, like Atma is given a different meaning in different verses. So I think you take the whole thing in the context of the shloka. That is when, and that comes with wisdom. I think for a mundane person, for a beginner, it might be difficult to say, oh, how can we use knowledge? How can we understand that it should be knowledge and not bhakti? For a common beginner, for an initial person initiated into this might be difficult, but for someone who has gone through this and is filtered this knowledge, I think it comes naturally.
No,
So
excuse me. Excuse me. Again, I have to emphasize there that bhakti has come the word from vibhakti. Vibhakti is difference. Bhakti is oneness. And that is the highest knowledge. It is one only. Nana has tested that there. When he told that it is knowledge, he told that it is not vibhakti. Vibhakti is difference. Bhakti is oneness. And that is the highest knowledge. So the words are so beautiful. Sanskrit words are words.
Yeah.
And it is fitted in such there only. Therefore, that when you chant that, you will get it. That is like a mantra.
Correct.
And we are so fortunate. Nanaji has so well prepared us through Atmabodh, Tattvabodh, Bhajagovindam. And I mean, I had read so many times Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but the meaning what we are all able to, digest right now, they are so much, I mean, it's beyond what. So we are so grateful just by reading from first to last chapter and even reading the purport and everything, but still after knowing Atmabodh, Tattvabodh and Bhajagovindam, that also Atmabodh, Tattvabodh twice. So Nanaji knew our level and then he emphasized it so much, and it is so, I mean, it is so easy to digest right now, isn't it?
Yeah. And while we are at this, Nana has urged everybody to chant the Bhagavad Gita. All those who have not yet started, do get inspired. If you need any help, we're all here. So please do get started. It is like both a request and an order. The sooner you get started, the better. I think I'm not sure how many of us are doing the daily Bhagavad Gita chanting. But those that are not still in there, please do get started.
See, actually, he really inspired us. That day when he told that, he forgot to chant it, and he was about to chant it in the afternoon. But again, he caught up with some guests and all that, and he was feeling very bad for it. And that moment itself, we were inspired that we should also be that way.
Right.
Really. So
When he touched
really,
the Bhagavad Gita, he had that little spark of thing. Arey, you've not read me today. You've not chanted. So that's what happens to all of us when we make it a habit. Like Kriya now it's become so much part of your life. If you've not done it for some reason, it is there. That nagging haunt is there. So the earliest opportunity you get, you do your Kriya. So similarly, even this chanting. And Sanskrit has, I think, I didn't go through all of what Renuji sent. It's that big Hindi thing, the Hindi message that she sent. But chanting Sanskrit, even listening to it is very beautiful. But if you can chant it, there's nothing like it. It is like the mantra snan.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I also want to know what is the PDF tomorrow you're going to read?
Now
That's
we're going to start the Swami, the Gita home study PDF of chapter 18. Nana said from tomorrow, we'll halt up until 60. We'll go to the PDF, and he wants us, we're going through all the shloka by shloka up until 60th. And then we'll continue the rest of the 18th chapter.
okay. Is that the PDF of the Dayananda Saraswati, right?
Yes,
It's not the, what do you call that? Not the Adi Shankara one.
No, I think he meant Gita home study first.
Okay.
After that,
Ramraji, I want to point out, see, even Guruji had one meditation about it. In this, every word of Sanskrit is aksharam, It is not shara. Shara, which is degenerating. When you utter that word, that word, suppose A for apple, whenever you chant A, apple should come that way. Every word, there is a meaning, and it comes from the what you call the vibrations of your tongue or of your body, from the nose, from the upper, this one, every akshara, akshara, and that vibrations create that vibrations, and they are that, that is what is the mantra. So it is aksharam. On that aksharam, Guruji had one meditation also. He says you take any akshara and meditate on it, enlarge it. It was such a beautiful, that is the beauty of the Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Therefore, the chanting has to be done with that effect. With that mantra itself, your difficulties are gone through.
Manana,
because you are
Trayate.
Trayate mantra. So that is the beauty of this mantras. So we have to very devotedly chant all this. Okay, we may utter here and there, but by practice we'll get to it. Therefore, we have to chant daily.
Yeah. So we'll continue, Bella.
Jai Gurudev, one moment, please. Nana is doing this Sama, Dama, Bheda, Danda. Let him not go to Danda about chanting. Because
no, I don't think he'll go there. He will not use that. There will not be a need for him to use.
No, see, even Krishna, now Krishna is ultimately saying, Arjuna, that whatever we have studied so far and all, but ultimately you will go according to your dharma, right? You have to fight. Yeah, Jai Gurudev.
Correct.
Shall I chant?
Yes, please go ahead, Bella.
Sarvakarmanyapi sada kurvano madvaya kurvano madvayapashrayah matprasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Any mistake, Brahmaraji? First line, kindly correct. Huh?
Madhya Pashraya. Madhya Pashraya.
Madhya Pash Madh Sarva Karmanyapi Sada Kurvano Madvayapashrayah.
That we don't break it there. It is one word. Madhya. Madhya. Madhya.
Madhvya. Madhvya.
Yeah.
It is Madhvya. Why is that? Not Madhya.
Sarva Karmanyapi Sada Kurvano Madvayapashrayah.
Yeah, that's fine. Madhya. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madhya pashraya. You can say madhya pashraya.
Madvyapashrayah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Sarva Karmani Api. All actions Sada Kurvanah. The one who is always doing. Madhyaparshrayah. The one whose basis for all actions and results is me. Mat prasadat, because of my grace. Shashvatam, eternal. Avyayam, imperishable. Padam, and avapnoti, gains. The one who is always doing all proper action, whose basis for all actions and results is myself, gains the end, which is eternal and imperishable because of my grace. The next sloka also, or anyone would like to share?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogamupashritya Macchitta satatam bhava buddhi yogamupashritya macchitta satatam bhava. Chetasa, with the mind. Sarva karmani, all actions. Mai sanyasya, renouncing unto me. Matparaha, sana, being the one whose only end is me. Buddhi yogam, a life of karma yoga. Upashritya, resorting to. Satatam, always. Macchittaha, the one whose mind is in me. Bhava, may you become. Being one whose only end is myself, mentally renouncing all actions unto me, resorting to a life of karma yoga, may you become one whose mind is always in me.
So when you look at this verse, it is like when you your focus is only Bhagavan, then automatically all your raga dveshas will get dissolved, isn't it? And then you live a life of karma yoga. Nice.
Macchitta sarvadurgani matprasadatarishasi. Was it correct, Brahmaraji?
Yeah, perfect. Go ahead.
Atha chettvamahankarat na shroshyasi vinakshasi.
Vinankshasi. That ang is there, no? Vinankshasi.
Yeah. Atha chetvatmahankarat na shroshyasi vinakshasi.
Yeah.
Chita, being
Yes.
one whose mind. Being one whose mind is always in me, mat prasadat, because of my grace, sarva durgani, all difficulties, tarishyasi, you will cross. Atha cheta, but if ahankarat, because of egotism, tvam, you, na shrosyasi, you do not listen, vinangshyasi, you will perish. Being one whose mind is always in me, because of my grace, you will cross all difficulties. But if because of egotism, you do not listen to me, you will perish.
He was pounding on it with you'll be if you don't listen, he was pounding on it, you do not listen, you'll perish.
Right.
That was he did all it he can, and then that's draw the line. I have a question. So tomorrow, but the PDF will be continuing on. I mean, tomorrow I may not be able to join, but that's why I couldn't offer to read. But I would like to read if
But
it's.
certain, yeah.
I'm not sure how long you guys continuing the PDF reading, but I can
No,
follow
it'll
it.
be for the full duration of Nana's session. So for 1 hour,
Oh.
and he said we will not be chanting. So we will gain that 20 minutes time as well. So we might be doing, I don't know, roughly maybe about 20, 25 pages, maybe, I don't know, or more.
Oh.
Depends on the speed of our.
Yeah, but that's only from the.
You go on, Dr. Mara, you can join in whenever you are joining in. You can also read.
Yeah, only because tomorrow is, I told the Thanksgiving dinner in
Right.
our home, so people will be here. So it'll be a little bit hard for me to join that time. So maybe tomorrow not, but I can probably do it on Friday. So
No problem. No problem.
yeah.
Brahmra Didi, it will be a PDF of chapter 18 only.
Correct.
Is it that one?
Chapter 18. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Bill. I think we did until 60, verse 60, right? You can chant, Bila.
Yes. Yada ahankaramash.
Yada hankaramashritya.
Yada ahankaramashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyesha vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyokshati. Ahankaram ashritya, resorting to egotism, yat manyase, that which you think, na yotsya, na yotsye iti, that I will not fight, eshah te vyavasayah, this resolve of yours. Eshah te vyavasayah, this resolve of yours. Mithya is false. Prakritihi, your disposition. Tvam niyokshasi, will impel you. Resorting to egotism that you think I will not fight, this resolve of yours is false. Your disposition will impel you. Here disposition means swabhava, right?
Yeah, swabhava. Swabhava is his disposition, because he says, Arjuna says, Sanjaya describes Arjuna as Nayotsya iti govindam tushnim babuvaha. So he sits down in the chariot saying, I'm not going to fight. Do what you want to do, but I'm not going to fight. But then Bhagwan is again bringing it back to him, saying, resorting to egotism that you think I will not fight, that is a false resolve. Your disposition will impel you to fight. So this is also very important for us to retrain our swabhava. The more suvasanas that we inculcate in this life, and we take care of our kuvasanas, the not so good vasanas, we minimize them, then Hopefully everyone gains moksha in this life itself. But then you're at least laying the blueprint for the coming lives where your swabhava will be such that you will be on this path of mumukshitva. So therefore it is watchful living, alert living.
And it's so important, even in family, one person kind of process, then it is definitely getting that ripple effect. The rest of the members also tend to, rethink about their.
That is what, no, in yesterday's PDF we read, when Swamiji was talking of being self-centered, wanting to gain moksha is it's not selfish, it is being centered on the self. You would have done the world and society a big favor by realizing yourself, because then you will no longer, number one, be a problem to others because you've realized yourself, and the second is you will be like a lamp, like a lighthouse. I mean, we didn't mention that, but I'm just saying you will be like a guide for everybody else. And that is why Gurudev says when a lit candle can light other candles. So first of all, we need to light our candle. And then waves of bliss and happiness can spread. And the ripple effect will of course be there. No doubt. Yeah.
स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्ध स्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti Arjuna, mohat, out of delusion, yat kartum na ichchasi, what you do not wish to do, tat api, just that, swabhavajena, which is born of your natural disposition, swena karmana, by your own action, nibaddha, being definitely bound, avashaha karishyasi, you will helplessly do. Arjuna, out of delusion, being definitely bound by your own action, which is born of your natural disposition, you will helplessly do just what you do not wish to do.
So a person who is deluded will just follow his svabhava no matter what. Correct? But that is where the question of viveka comes in. With viveka, you can then steer your path. Like in the beginning, I think we read somewhere that it is like the river going up the mountain. It is reverse flow. The path of moksha is you're not following the general crowd. It is not just going with the flow. It is going against the flow. So this is the river going up the mountain. It is not flowing down the mountain. So out of delusion, it's like the river just flowing down the mountain. It is natural, and whatever is in your swabhava, your disposition, you will do it. But then comes viveka and vairagya. With those two struts, then you go ascend. And then we'll be able to follow whatever Bhagwan has said in the last few shlokas.
He was,
yeah.
He wasn't going to, if he is not going to do it, he'll perish, he said. But then here, out of delusion, he bound to do some action, and which is born of natural disposition. Somewhere else it said, even though out of delusion is doing something, thereby he will have to act as per the nature.
Correct, isn't it? He will go round and round in the cycle of samsara. If he is out of delusion, even if he does not want to do it because of his svabhava, he'll be forced to do it. even that thing of I don't want to do is coming out of aviveka only, no?
Mhm.
See,
But
in Arjuna's context, it is what it is like. I don't want to fight. He's a kshatriya. He's supposed to fight.
mhm.
So even if you say you don't want to do it, your svabhava is going to impel you to do it.
So you do just what you do not wish to do. That what I mean again, that's what it reiterates here in this one, number 60.
Number 60 is, I think, to do is talking of people who are avivekis. They will just helplessly do what
What they don't wish to do, it says.
yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Uh, no, this was the last one Nana talked about. I probably kind of missed some of it.
Yeah, maybe the PDF, I mean, this is what I understood. I might be wrong, but
Okay. I mean, irrespective of it, he was expected to do it. That's what
No,
I
this is really contradictory, you know.
Mm.
What he says is, out of your own swabhava, you will reach there only. Whether you, out of delusion, you are bound by other actions, which is born by, I don't know. Really, it is contradictory, you know, both.
no, I think we need to look at the context in which he's saying it.
That is what I think tomorrow
Yeah.
Nana will put more emphasis on this verse.
Correct.
So we'll
Correct.
wait for it.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll start the PDF. So maybe we can ask him as a question to just clarify this little more. So we stopped here yesterday. We talked about validation, which is better, sweeping the floor or cooking a meal. There are 100 different things to do. I would like to know which one is better. What is I'll read this paragraph one more time. A lot of people will say, be yourself. But how can I be myself when the self is not acceptable to me? The self must be acceptable. And that is where Vedanta comes in to show us that the self is absolutely acceptable. It is not simply validation of your problems, even though validation is very important in being fit for this knowledge. If you validate your problems, you understand that neither you nor anybody else has special problems. It is simply a situation of 1 + 1 being 2. Certain situations produce certain other psychological situations. Once you have validated yourself, you are ready for the journey. And this self-validation is gained by karma yoga. Now, in this, which karma is better? Sweeping the floor, cooking a meal? There are 100 different things to do. I would like to know which one is better. None. What is better is for our attitude to grow, to understand the concept of duty, to see how beautiful it is. Once duty as a system is available, we are safe because there is no better system for growth. But humanity must be mature to accept that. An emotionally childish society cannot even understand what this is. It will see only disparity, control, etc. In fact, this is the greatest system if humanity is enlightened enough to appreciate it. There are different types of work, none of which is superior to another. People have different skills and we require different things to be done. So different people do different things. This is very well defined in the Varnashrama structure. But even if it is not there, duty becomes highly visible at any place, at any time. It does not even have to be told. That is what is being said here. So basically, what to do at what time, at any given time, is directed by your duty and therefore your priorities. So then you'll make a list of your priorities and your duties, your responsibilities and duties, and then prioritize them, which is uppermost. So top of the list should be moksha. And then after that, everything else can be there. Only then will we be able to have that thing of machitta, madgata pranaha. So keeping...
Ramana, here
Yes,
I
sir.
want to point out Guruji's, once he said, see, I'm not, I didn't get the respect. I was told to do this and all that, you know. So he said, when you're with yourself, means when you go inside, means if you respect yourself, you need not have self-respect. You don't earn, you don't
You
want
don't look for others respecting
other
you.
respect. That is what here exactly.
Ah, very true.
This is what it is. So when we go, when we meditate, we are with ourselves. And if you don't meditate, means we are not respecting ourselves. So if you do that, everything falls around. Guruji has given complete Bhagavad Gita in one Sudarshan Kriya. we can say all the points, 5 points, everything comes here. Everything falls in line. What a beautiful Guru we have. I don't know. We are so lucky.
Really blessed. If our aim is inner growth, Swadharma is the best means. If my aim is growth, then my duty is the best. Swadharma Shreyan. But if my aim is to accomplish something else, I have to look for things like where the power is, which profession is better, what type of education I must have, etc. It starts from 5th grade onwards. If the vision is in anything other than one's own growth, the Varnashrama system will not work. That is why it began to break down when people drifted away from the Vedic vision of life that keeps moksha as the end in view. Lord Krishna specifically mentions seeing the purpose of seeing the reality, Tattva Jnanartha Darshana, as a value. You should not lose sight of moksha as the end, because if this is kept in view, everything will fall in order. If it is shifted, then its place becomes a search for security, artha, and pleasure, kama, and this system will fall apart because it is only suitable for inner growth with moksha as the aim. Once that is recognized, any job is a good job and anything you do is not binding. You do not look down upon another job, nor do you think some job is superior to the others. You may like one job more than the other according to your disposition. That is natural. But to think that something is worse or better and choose on that basis will not help. It never works. If you operate purely according to choice and choose only what you like, and if you do not get what you like, what will you do? It is better to like what you do than to always look for something that you like. Even if you find something you like, it will not take much time for you to find it monotonous and begin to look for something else. This goes on and on. That is why Swamiji had said it is the attitude to work which is important. And it is not which work you do, whether it is sweeping the floor or cooking a meal. It is not which one to choose, which is better, which is superior. It is the attitude to work. So you like what you do, and then, but ultimately, moksha has to be kept as uppermost. Tattva jnanartha darshana. That should be the uppermost. Then the varnashramas will come, will have a meaning and effect.
This I had told yesterday only, if you you are not liking the work, better you should work what is liking. You may not get that way. So
Correct.
whatever you get that work, you love it.
Correct.
That is the same.
Swadharma, even without merit, is better than paradharma done well. When it is a question of inner growth, one's own duty, not so well done, is better than the duty of another that is done well. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushtitat. Shankara notes that we have to add the word even, api, here, so that even if one's duty is not well done, it is better than doing the duty of somebody else well. The word vigunaha can also be understood as something which is not pleasant. Even if your duty is not liked by you or not very remunerative or respected, it is better than the duty of another, which is well performed. It is interesting that he uses the word Shreyan here, which has the meaning of exceedingly praiseworthy. Atishayena prashastaha. How is it better? Doing one's own duty is even psychologically very important, because in the Varnashrama system especially, one's dharma is determined by one's disposition. Svabhava niyatam karma. According to the proportion of sattva, rajas or tamas, which partially accounts for one's psychological makeup, certain karma was mentioned by the Shastra. Doing that, one does not incur any fault. Kurvanna apnoti kilbisham. The idea is that when one does one's duty, there is no conflict or further problem. This can be a good basis for the healthy psychology of a human being. And here, it is part of the means of preparation for the knowledge that you are the whole. What is enjoined according to one's own disposition is called Swabhava Niyatam Karma. Doing the duty that is enjoined according to one's disposition, one does not gather any kind of impurity. Na apnoti kilbisham. Because in expressing oneself according to the composition of one's gunas, one has no conflict. This is a psychological truth. When you go against your natural disposition, you are trying to do something which is not true to yourself, and therefore it creates conflicts and does not help with your inner growth. So here, our natural disposition is what is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. That is what we are. So anything that we do that is going towards that will leave us with no conflict. But anything we do which is apart from that, it creates conflicts and does not help your inner growth. This is when you extrapolate it to the highest, this is what it is. But natural disposition, I think what Swamiji is meaning here is based on the proportion of sattva, rajas and tamas that you have. You are given, you've got that varna, that whatever varna, you are in a Brahmin or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or Sudra, whatever at that point of time, based on the proportion of your sattva, rajas, tamo gunas, that is your disposition. That is also the thing, I think.
I was about to tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
That is, means according to your guna, triguna, you have got the body. Your disposition is that way. Accordingly, you have to choose the work. That is what it is. So we cannot change our swabhava. We have to find our swabhava, ourselves. Earlier the better. So in the other verses, Krishna says, we should not force people to, if people are not willing to accept Bhagavad Gita or anything, because their guna is to enjoy materialistic. Whatever you tell, they may not understand it. So let them pass through that and finish their karma. Again, they will come back and then they will get it. That is the way it is. So if your disposition is such a way that your guna earlier, whatever karmas, what you have done, through that only this journey has to go. We have to sow the seed, but the ground is not ready to take that seed. It is not correct. It's really very, it's very difficult. It's a wonderful.
Can I have a little clarification on this? So if you sow the seed and if the soil is not ready, that's what you mean, to accept that seed?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you have to come back again.
You have to come back again. But we have to sow the seed.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that we have to tell, but we have not to force them. You have to do like that. If many people are materially bound, materialistic, they will not agree with our, he is losing on the pleasure, what we are enjoying and all other things they say. It is according to their guna and karma. You see? So we have to forget them and let them go through that. And again, they will, in Punarjanma and all other things, they will attain. They will get viveka. But sowing the seed is a must.
But here, I agree with you. That is with respect to others. But here, when you come apply this to your own self, we are talking of our own inner growth, isn't it? So the difference between Swadharma and Paradharma. So doing somebody else's thing done well is going to incur sin. Whereas if your Swadharma, you do not do that well, you do not incur sin. Basically, what I think Krishna is here with respect to Arjuna's context. Arjuna was keen on taking sannyasa, going to, we wanted to leave the battle and go away, take sannyasa. So that would have been, in Arjuna's context, paradharma. So he's telling Arjuna, even if you take, for instance, if you take on the ashrama of sannyasa and you've done it, you do it well. It is still, it is wrought with demerit. What is that he says? I just want to say what exactly. When it's a question of inner growth, one's own duty not so well done is better than the duty of another that is done well. So even if the duty is not liked by you and not very remunerative, it is better than the duty of another which is well performed. How is it better? doing one's own duty is even psychologically very important because it is a varnashrama system, especially one's dharma is determined by one's disposition, the svabhava niyatam karma. According to the proportion of sattva, rajas and tamas, which partially accounts for one's psychological makeup, certain karma was mentioned by the Shastra. Doing that, one does not incur any fault. Kurvan napnoti kilbisham. The idea is that when one does one's own duty, there is no conflict or further problem. This can be a good basis for the healthy psychology of a human being. And here, it is part of the means of preparation for the knowledge that you are the whole.
You see, now we are in Grahasthashrama. Okay? We do this Grahasthashrama according to the karma, Vihita karma and Nisheda karma. That is better than we becoming sannyasa. You know? Because of our disposition, we are already in the Grahasthashrama. So we should follow karma yoga correctly, and that is equivalent to the sannyasa itself. I felt that way here.
That is true with respect to ashramas. What you said is very true. But even in the grihastha ashrama, you need to be clear in your mind what is your swadharma and what is paradharma. In the grihastha ashrama also. See, isn't it? It is not just a broad division of the 4 ashramas that is meant here.
Yeah, that is according to guna again. Later on, your personal will be according to your guna. You are sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. You know, so you have to increase swabhava in that way. You have to go towards the sattvic.
There is a little, I'm not very clear about that. Can anyone?
Karma, matte guna, karma guna. You see, according to the karma and also according to the guna you have. This has to match together.
There's a lot of disturbance coming, I think maybe from your side, Sureshji. You don't mind just checking on that?
Here many people will be.
There is some disturbance there. No problem. So what is enjoined according to one's disposition is called svabhava niyatam karma. Doing the duty that is enjoined according to one's disposition, one does not gather any kind of impurity. Na apnoti kilbisham, because in expressing oneself according to the composition of one's gunas, one has no conflict. This is a psychological truth. When you go against your natural disposition, you are trying to do something which is not true to yourself, and therefore it creates conflicts and does not help with your inner growth. So one thing is clear, the focus and the goal is set, that is moksha, isn't it? It is only after that that you come to swadharma and paradharma. So when moksha is the ultimate gain, ultimate goal, or the place where we have to reach, whatever, however we call it, whatever else we do, if you're doing swadharma, it will be in alignment with the inner growth. Because I think ultimately karma yoga is required for us to rid ourselves of our vasanas. That is the whole purpose of a human life, of karma yoga, is to cleanse ourselves of our vasanas, get out of our raga dveshas, isn't it? So that, from my little understanding, maybe anyone else can also share. So in doing that, if you go follow your gunas, but I mean, I still need a bit of clarity there. If you're following your gunas, which means, supposing there is a person who is tamasic, so him following his gunas will mean he'll continue to be tamasic, isn't it? But there, I think that is where the compass is important. He's a mumukshu. He cannot be a tamasic, cannot be a mumukshu. So there is that little clarification I need there. That it's not that very clear. But what I understand is that according to your roles and responsibilities at a given time, whatever is your priority, your duty, that becomes your swadharma. Everything else becomes paradharma.
Correctly said.
So it is dependent on the time, situation, as well as your different roles and responsibilities in life. Although you have yoked, your highest goal is moksha. You've put your the hook over there, and whatever else you do will be according to your swadharma. Then that will help you in your inner growth, because you will be able to rid your vasanas. I mean, I'm just giving a concept, but I'm not very clear in my mind. I know I need a bit of clarity there.
We have to go through this repeatedly and find ourselves the answers. I tell you this, because your disposition, your karma, you know it, and nobody can solve that. You have to use your viveka, read this thoroughly again and again and again, and come to the conclusion.
Yeah. We'll read this one who acts correct. I agree with you, Suresh. We need to just read, and maybe Kalena, it will get better.
Nididhyasa.
Yeah.
That is called Nididhyasa. You have heard, you have understood it. You have to do Manana and Nididhyasa daily. Daily go through it. Then only you will get clarity of mind.
Correct. So one who acts according to his svabhava does not incur fault. Further, impurity, kilbisham, in the context of varnashrama dharma, is not merely conflict but papa, because if you are not doing your prescribed duty, you are transgressing dharma. Since this follows the discussion about karma that is born of one's nature, svabhavaja, it cannot be anything but a natural expression of one's own guna composition. If one's karma is chosen according to one's disposition, one avoids conflicts, and sattva becomes more predominant as the mind, free from conflicts, becomes tranquil. All these qualities of a matured mind that we talk about, like shama and dhamma, will be there if a person follows what is enjoined for him according to his disposition. However difficult or easy it is, he does it. Suppose a Brahmana who is supposed to do Vedic chanting decides that it is too boring and wanting some change, some challenge, joins the army. His natural disposition being what it is, he cannot be a good soldier, nor can he be a good Brahmana when he is in the army. So it is a problem. Whether there is a system that prescribes a duty or duty is determined by disposition, we have to understand that this is all for the purpose of inner growth. The mind is given to tranquility, and it can also be restless. etc. And therefore, there is a certain process of growth involved for our mind, antahkarana. Just as there is physical maturity for the body and an intellectual maturity for the mind, there is also an emotional maturity for the mind. The mind has to grow, not only in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of its capacity to properly interpret and respond to different situations. It is very clear that the growth of the mind is not just in terms of information. The preceding generations did not have the information we have, yet they seem to understand certain facts which one has to know. What is right living, what is wrong living, how to face situations, etc. That has always been the same for Stone Age man as well as modern man. If the modern man's computer does not work, he gets upset. When the Stone Age man's stone tool broke, he also had a mind to deal with. The problem is the same. You have to deal with the mind, and any amount of information does not really alter the situation. Whether we have more information or less information, life has to be lived. And that means you have to face your mind. Emotion has to be mastered, which involves growth, insofar as your emotional life and understanding are concerned. I will just read these two paras. I know we're stepping on time. There are two types of mental growth. One is cognitive and one is therapeutic. The maturity that you gain cognitively is what the Gita talks about, and therapeutic growth is gained through your life experiences, primarily your interactions with people. All you have to do is marry and have a couple of children. That is what our forefathers did, and it was good enough for them. Anyone who has done it knows that to live with another person all your lifetime is not easy. Necessarily, you will grow. Once the mind has matured, all you require is pramana, nothing else. So, the whole life is for shaping the mind. Suppose you have to study calculus. How many years do you have to prepare for it? Many. Here you have to understand, I am infinite. If it takes some time to prepare yourself for that, it is understandable and it doesn't matter. It is worth it. The whole effort on one's part is the preparation of the mind. Then all one needs is the pramana, the means of knowledge to understand Tattvam Asi. That understanding does not take time. It is the preparation that takes time. And because the Gita shows us how to take care of that, it is a Yoga Shastra. Very nice. I think we will have to revisit this.
That is what sadhana is. What we do daily, the kriya, padma sadhana, the mind, you get clarity of mind. So we say whenever we go into the telling people what Sudarshan Kriya gives is clarity of mind, purity of heart, and sincerity in work. These all are involved. That is what the preparation is. That takes time. Once you get through it, the daily sadhana, you will get.
I don't think it is only sadhana, Sureshji. I think it is also a practice of karma yoga. That is what is mentioning here.
See, you get the clarity of mind, no? Then you get all the knowledge, clarity.
Yeah, so it is not just sadhana.
Sadhana, but again,
you should pursue knowledge.
Knowledge, that's what we do.
And your attitude should be of that of a karma yogi.
That's what it is, what we are doing it. Because we have done the sadhana, all knowledge is getting to us. We are in this path. It's really wonderful.
you, Brahmaraji, I like the last paragraph what you read, that if the person is behaving according to his swabhava, it is not incurring the fault. I mean, it is not incurring the kilbisham, the papa. If the butcher is doing for the cutting of animals for his family's survival, he is not incurring the papa.
Correct.
I like that revolutionary statement by Bhagavan. Very nice.
Correct. Basically, the whole of creation, there is an order in creation. Everyone, according to his nature, is given that particular, say, that job, whatever. So I think following that, then creation goes on very seamlessly.
Yeah, so nothing to look down.
No, yeah, nothing to look down upon. The butcher
Yes.
will not think, oh, the teacher is getting more than me, there's more, it is more remunerative. So let me leave my butcher's job, let me go do something else. Let me become an IT professional. Then that butcher's job will be left as a gap. So there will be a gap in society. So in the tapestry of the whole creation, each one has a role to play. And the whole challenge is to find where you fit in there, your swadharma.
Very true. It is so well auto functioning, no? I mean, the more we are going towards the end, the more wow, wonderstruck. I mean, it is so well arranged auto system.
Right.
Pre-coded.
That was what Chayana had told us, no? Very nicely.
Right.
We are interdependent, and what another word he has told us?
There are four aspects of yajna.
Yeah, yajna, that is all. So that was what beautifully explained by Chayana.
So he said, in this cosmic puzzle, each person, wherever we are right now, that is the way we are supposed to be. And whatever, it's required has to be performed, we have to perform. That is, he said, Karma Yoga. Jai Gurudev.
Does anyone remember the four? Now today we're going a little ahead of stretching it out. Maybe we'll take this up tomorrow. The four aspects of yajna that Chayana had mentioned, be good to revise that. And then you find your roles, responsibilities at this point of time. And yeah, nice. Yeah. We'll stop here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.